everyone, KW here, and welcome back to an interesting video. Today I thought we could talk about my thoughts on adaptations. Recently we have been hearing news about books becoming movies or shows. We even learned that we are getting remakes or sequels on some other stuff as well. And our favorite cartoons and anime are becoming live action. So I feel like there's a need to talk about this. I'm not sure how I'm going to talk about this, but I think I got everything I need to, share my thoughts and tell you how I feel about these adaptations and stuff. But I am not gonna, however, talk about the remakes or sequels in this video since this is gonna be mostly about adaptations. But don't worry, I am planning to talk about the sequels and remakes in the future. So without any more delays, let's, well, I would say let's play, but, we're not reacting to a video where I would, press play, so, let's just, get into it. First off, should there be a fan service? What is a fan service? What does that mean? Well, it usually means something that appeals to the audience. Sometimes in a weird way, but the best way to explain it is with the FNAF movie. The FNAF movie is considered fan service. Why? Because of what the people who were working on, like Scott Cawthon and the director, and even I think some of the cast members too. I'm not sure on that, but they have said that the movie was made for fans. Well, is that a bad thing to make stuff for fans? Not really, but it's also sort of bad in a sense. People are going to see this movie whether they are fans or not. It's a movie. You have to tell a good story to get the audience into it. It's not bad if you bring things that fans will, get and everything like that, but you should also do things for newer or non-fans that are seeing this movie so they can understand it as well. Because you might lose, the fans and everything like that. Even people who don't understand what's going on in the story. And, that's pretty much it, I guess you could say. I don't know really sure how to explain more. But if you think about it, why would people go see a FNAF movie that are not fans or newcomers, Well, they are tag-alongs. That's the simple answer. Spell Cold, who is my uncle, he wasn't a tag-along. A person who would go see this movie to have fun, even though he might not be his favorite movie. I mean, he did enjoy it. I give it a 7.5 stars out of, well, 10 stars, but he didn't really know much about it. He only knows a few things because of what I have told him. I just gave him the basic idea so he might, figure out the plot in the movie. Because, well, it was made for fans, so therefore, if you don't know anything at all about FNAF and you go see this movie, you might, well, not enjoy it as much and understand why people are excited about this movie and stuff like that. Because, it's a game. It's a movie based on a game. Like, what? But I guess, the best way to say how a movie that was based on a video game, who basically was made for fans as well, but did it in a lot better way. And that is Sonic the Hedgehog. That movie was made for fans, but it was also made for newcomers. Why? Because they give you the basic idea you need to know about Sonic. They added new lore, and also make sure some of the original lore was into it. Like Knuckles being the last of his race, and Tails getting bullied because he has two tails and stuff like that. That was pretty much, I think, common knowledge everywhere in the Sonic world, whether it's in the video games or in shows or in comic books. And so that's what they did. With the FNAF movie, though, it's a little bit hard to explain it. I mean, if anything, Mario was kind of a similar way too, I think. It did give out a basic plot and everything so you get an idea of what Mario is. I mean, same thing with Barbie. Yes, even Barbie somehow got fans, and who are not fans of Barbie enjoy this movie. It's crazy because, yeah, how? Well, here's the thing, all you need to know that Barbie helped a lot of girls around the world and everything like that. Yes, the Barbie dolls, at least, aren't the only dolls out there that help girls around the world and stuff, but still, Barbie was pretty famous for that, so that's pretty much why. So, I guess you could say that, sure, have some fan service, but also make sure you have stuff for other people to get as well who may not be into that, I guess, fandom. Fandom, yeah, that's the, you know what I mean. So FNAF, kind of fell with this. I think also with Hello Neighbor as well, even though Hello Neighbor didn't get a movie. But hey, good job, Sonic. Yeah, I think also I'm gonna say Bidding Ink Machine, since I think Bidding Ink Machine is getting a movie. I don't know. It probably has been confirmed. I don't know. I mean, you're also probably paying time to. We're getting off track. Let's just continue. Should you trust the creators? Oh boy. Okay, how do I explain this? So, this one is definitely something people will debate a lot. What do you mean? Should you trust original creators? Who created the books and also created the cartoons and stuff like that? You know, they're usually the ones who, sign a contract to make a show or a movie about what they created. I mean, that's how, the movies are made based on the books or games, right? Or even cartoons, or anything really. You have to, have a contract of some sorts. I probably should look into this more, but I mean, there is a contract. So, they even, help with those projects as well. They are a part of it. So, of course, Mr. Rick Riordan himself, Riordan, Riordan, let's just call him Mr. Rick, the guy who created Percy Jackson. He's the one who actually helped pick the cast members to be the characters from his books, Percy Jackson. Cassandra helped with figure out what they needed to do with Shadow Hunters, but Oda, who created the One Piece manga, helped with One Piece live action. They all had a part to help create those shows. But the question is, did they make the right call on making those choices for their show? Yes, but also no. I don't think you should always trust the original creators. The original creators of After the Last Airbender was actually planning to make a live action that wasn't really faithful to the original show. And I thought I was going crazy when I heard this rumor, but apparently that actually is been confirmed. And that's kind of why they left. And Rick, as much as I understand you want to separate a show from the the movies, but the casino episode could have done so much better. I mean, come on. You could have done so much better with that casino episode. Let's just be all honest here. And, do I really need to talk about Shadowhunters? Okay, fine. Why the actual heck do you need to change everything from the books? I mean, seriously, I feel like this is a different universe. I guess it's supposed to be from a different universe, but we love the books and everything like that. We enjoy the books for a reason, and so when we watch the show, okay, here's the thing: City of Bones movie maybe not be the greatest adaptation and did some changes, but at least most of it was from the book. At least they did it better, I feel like, and the acting in the casting was way better. I'm sorry, but Jace is always supposed to be a slender, long-haired guy. Actually, I have the graphic novels of the more intimate books. And you know what? At least they did it right. The person who made the graphic novels. And let's be honest, Valentine was supposed to be, I guess you could say, pretty, handsome or whatever. And he has this, formal talking and everything like that. Because literally they said that the way Valentine talks make you feel like you can't talk to him at all. Because he has this way of persuading you. But in the movies, but I mean not in the movies because there's only one movie, City of Bones. I meant talking about Shadowhunter show, but you know what I mean. It's just I don't know. It's you can't always trust the original creators on what they're doing when making those deals. Sure, some of them have less control over things than others do, but I mean, think about it. We Potterheads kind of agree that Jacob Rowling kept making such a huge chaotic Lord mess that, we decided that Cursed Child was never canon. I mean, Jacob Rowling had fixed some plot holes from the Harry Potter series, but then she got these two guys, and they made some contract to make a play called The Cursed Child, and it felt like they didn't know much about Harry Potter, and it was just, chaotic. Okay, so if we cannot trust the original creators, Who can we trust? Do Are we gonna trust the people who are making the show and the films then? Well, here's the thing. Like I said, you can't always trust original creators, but it's okay to have some trust. You know, they may have their reasons, and some of them can be actually good. There are good creators who know how things should be. It's okay, you can't always trust them, but you can see how much you're putting their effort into something where the fans and newcomers enjoy it. So that's good enough for me. If there's good story, acting, effects, and stuff like that, and it feels faithful to like the books or anime or shows, then I will trust the creators, whether they're the originals or the creators who are making the shows or movies based on those things. You know, better than nothing, right? Alright, but here's an interesting question. Should they follow the lore? Okay, well, I'm gonna be straight with this one. Yes, they must. Some of these changes can be good, but how much should you change? I mean, if we all think about it, Hunger Games hadn't really changed a whole lot of story when they were making the films. Sure, they probably missed a few things here or there, but they also added some stuff as well, because they knew how important some of the stuff it was from the books. For example, Katniss's sister. The whole reason why Candace is in the Hunger Games in the first place. Prim, who is Katniss's sister, was really important. So they did add quite a few scenes here and there to show Prim and Candace bonding in their relationship before, what happens later down in the books. So, there you go. And here's also a thing, interesting enough. The Twilight Saga, did change one thing from Breaking Dawn, but it's a good change, and it didn't feel like they actually changed it. It is sort of complicated. Here's the thing. When you read Breaking Dawn, and you go towards the end of that book, see the ending. Isn't it anticlimactic? If you're wondering, spoiler, it was a life or death situation on a certain child. But they just talked. There was no battle, nor fights in the book. It's just them talking. So, what did they do in Breaking Dawn Part 2? Well, if you remember the sister's power, I literally forgot her name. But the sister, who can actually see the future, you get to see her vision. And there was, guess what? A fight. But they did it so well to where, like, it didn't really feel like, they really changed anything. They just add something to it. So, I feel like it was a good job. They did really amazing on that. I feel like Twilight and Hunger Games didn't really need to change a whole lot or anything like that. They are probably one of the better adaptations out there that follow most of the books, follow most of the lore and everything like that. Sadly though, Harry Potter didn't, I feel like. I mean, they missed a lot of things from the books, and they could have just easily put it in the films. But they didn't. I mean, honestly, my mom didn't allow me to watch, Half-Blood Prince and Deadly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 until I read the other books. Read all the books, not the other books, but, you know what I mean, okay? Shush! And I was actually glad. I'm glad my mom made me read the books first before I could watch, the rest of the movies, because I would have been confused. Like, when, Snape was revealed to be the Half-Blood Prince. But they never explained that. Yet in the book, they did. It's sort of kind of like what happened with, like, the FNAF movie. You just have to know things by reading the books and stuff like that to understand what's happening in the movies. Sure, it is probably important for you to read these books, but at the same time, though, if you can make a great faithful adaptation, it will feel like you're reading a book on a screen. I mean, you can actually do that, honestly, with ebooks, but it's not just a bunch of words, You see what the characters look like, and, they're doing what they're doing and stuff like that, It, I don't know. It's just, it feels like, the characters are real and alive. you know? So, I mean, if anything, books are kind of like scripts. You don't need to exactly need to write a script. You have the book. I mean, yes, you still probably need scripts, to make sure you're translating it well from the books, but you know what I mean. Don't try to change half the things in the story just to fit on screen. You know? Like, just make sure you're telling a good story that's faithful to the books, to the anime, or to the cartoons. Well, I guess we should talk about the last thing. Should they make films and shows based on books? Or anything else, like games and anime or cartoons and dolls and stuff like that? I can't really say yes or no to this one, all honesty, because I can actually understand the both teams, the yes and the no team. People will say no because there's some things in the books that you can't do on screen or can't do in live action when, was an anime or a cartoon. You have, but if anything, people do imagine like the characters and the world and everything like that. You know? Everyone has different opinions how it looks like the characters and the world and the magic, or if it doesn't have magic, the city, or if it doesn't have a city, the town, or all those sort of stuff. And that's why a lot of people really like books, because imagination and things help you escape from reality and helps you understand these characters and everything like that through their thoughts and everything. So when people see that these books are turning into movies or shows, or see these things like anime or cartoon becoming live action, it's scary for them because they're worried they're gonna ruin things, especially if you do something a little bit different, you know, or choosing a casting member that was really pretty close to what the character description looks like, but it doesn't work. Or that's what people are saying, it doesn't work, even though it's pretty darn close. I mean, if we all think about it, Saga System is going to be toned down or be a little bit different, but people thought they meant they're going to get rid of it and thought it was going to work. When in reality, they're just changing how Sokka is going to be when he's going to have that sexism. I mean, we also found out that, the Northern Water Tribe is still going to have that sexism too when, Karatar going to meet the Master Waterbender guy, like the teacher, Master Paku. So, I mean, I can see why a lot of people don't want things to be turned into movies or shows. But then, why are there people who want that? Well, it's actually, like I said, it's because it's fun to see the characters on screen. It feels more real. And if you do a faithful attention and find ways to make it work, it could bring a newer generation or fans to actually read the books. The books can even, get sold out more because of the adaptations. It will give more awareness. I mean, as much I don't really like the Percy Jackson movies, I don't think without them I wouldn't find, you know, the Percy Jackson books and enjoy them and also get into Greek mythology and also get into more reading and decide becoming a writer. And so it's I think this one is a yes and a no to certain people. I mean, my answer, I think it might be a cool way to bring more fans to read the books and stuff, but I do understand that some things should be just books, or some things should be just anime or cartoons. But, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think there should be movies and shows that are based on books? If so, why? Or, if not, also tell me why. I want to hear your thoughts. And I hope you enjoy my thoughts as well. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. KW out. Goodbye.